My name is Eve Watson and I'm a psychoanalytic practitioner. I work in Dublin and I am trained in the Freudian Lacanian tradition. I've been practicing now for 17 years. I have a private practice in Dublin city centre, and I also teach on various university programmes at undergraduate and postgraduate level and on training institutes. People come along with everything, I would say. Begin with saying that. With disappointments in work, with all kinds of symptoms. They complain of depression and anxiety, mourning and bereavement, change, issues in relation to sexuality, relationship troubles. So people come along with everything in that sense, looking for talk therapy, looking for something into which they can articulate their particular suffering and discontent. So I see people from all walks of life and from different backgrounds because that is what Dublin is like. It has become a more diverse place. But people present, I think, with the same old problems, if you want to call them that, of desire and jouissance. Now, jouissance is not a commonplace word. It refers to the kinds of suffering that people have that they seem to repeat and that they can't explain. And at a certain point, they have enough of it and they want to go and talk to somebody. There are many types of therapy nowadays. Times are very different from Freud's time, when there was initially just psychoanalysis. But I find that people often seek a longer-term therapy and find their way to psychoanalysis, having tried the shorter term. So the fact that psychoanalysis offers time, and actually an indeterminate amount of time, without necessarily a guarantee of success, might sound completely contradictory to what people would be looking for, especially in our world today of instant gratification, instant information. And in fact, that time we understand that symptoms which are related, as we understand them psychoanalytically, to the unconscious. The unconscious doesn't work according to the clock. It doesn't work according to chronological time. The unconscious speaks when it has something to say. So sometimes we have to wait for an articulation in relation to that. It can be as simple as a slip of the tongue. So we can't anticipate in advance when the unconscious has something to say, yet the unconscious is the motor force of who we are, what we do, and if we want to know ourselves better, we do so through hearing what the unconscious has to say. And I don't want to present the unconscious as some kind of gloomy place, a basement that we might take a lift to, as is so often portrayed in films. I'm trained in the Lacanian field, and we understand the unconscious in a very linguistic way, as something that emanates in and through speech and language, in the ordinary everyday sense of it. It is not a mystery, it's not a mystifying place, it's not a special place to get to. It's in everything that we say, potentially. But particularly in the moments when our efforts to say something introduce a gap. They don't quite meet with our expectations. We mean to say something, we end up saying something else. We mean to do something, something else happens. The unconscious is is something that is accessible to all of us. It's conveyed through speech, which is the instrument par excellence of analysis. I like to think of psychoanalysis as an alternative to dominant discourses. And let me try to explain that a little bit. The discourse of psychoanalysis and the practice of psychoanalysis is something that is structured differently and is practiced differently to what is broadly speaking happening in the world. I mean, psychoanalysis is particularly interested in what is excessive to those discourses. What is excessive to those discourses? What do they not manage? What can they not accommodate or quantify? These discourses which either reduce the subject to an object of the medical gaze in an objectified way, or a consumer object, which is what the discourse of the markets do. In what psychoanalysis is oriented to is a couple of things. The unconscious, that always slips away. That can't be bought. It can't be observed via the medical gaze. Dreams, poetic productions, poetry, art, rhythm and music. These are the things that make us uniquely human, and are in excess to our dominant discourses today. So psychoanalysis offers the opportunity to peep through the keyhole of our subjectivity and allow a view onto those possibilities that are there in somebody.